Welcome back to the 8 points. So last year when the Tome of Champions 2019 came out, I really enjoyed it. It covered lots of new stuff that had come out on White Dwarf over the year. It had lots of new content. So as a brief recap, it added monstrous melees, put in the fated quests and the new challenge battles. It also gave us the Trial of Champions. We got 2 sets of roaming beasts. Those were the wild cave creatures and the reckless dead. We also got new hidden agendas, and we got introduced to the escalation tournaments. And I'll just pause there for a second when I think about going through all of these different things that were added last year and just how few of them I've actually played. Now I'd like to say that that's a thing to do with 2020, coronavirus, all that sort of stuff. But what it really tells me is that without all that fluff and all this new stuff that got added last year, Warcry is just a brilliant, brilliant game. It's really good, so we never stopped playing it. We played it right through until lockdown in March, and we played it a little bit in between lockdowns as well. But even though we didn't play all that new stuff, I've got to say I was really, really looking forward to 2020 Tome of Champions. Just something I've been thinking about almost throughout the year, because it really was such a great publication, and it did bring together all of those card packs that people had missed out on, and just allowed people to get more and more worth out of the game. Now last month when Warhammer did the Gridiron and Glory preview, I was really expecting to get some news about the Tome of Champions, but we didn't. What we did get was a collection of new books, which I'm still looking forward to, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. What these books are is collected content for each faction. So we've got the Sentinels of Order, and then we've got the Agents of Chaos, mainly the corn on the front there looks amazing. Then for Death we have the Bringers of Death, and finally for the Destruction faction we have got the Harbingers of Destruction. Now those books look great in their own right, so what they're going to give us is all of our warbands for the different factions that we've got. It's got all of our profiles and fighter cards, rules for using all the monsters and that kind of thing, and again those fated quests and challenge battles which got introduced originally for last year's Tome of Champions. Now this list clearly goes through a load of content that is for Tome of Champions. All of this stuff was last year. We got warbands, we got profiles and fighter cards, we got the rules for monsters, we got fated quests, and we got challenge battles. All of those things came in the Tome of Champions last year. So I and a lot of other people just assumed that these books were going to replace this year's Tome of Champions. However, I was reading this month's White Dwarf magazine and going through all the content for Jakob Bugmanson, that model that's coming out very soon. I was going through it, really enjoying it, looking at what his challenge battle was going to be and going through all the different stuff there. Now, when I eventually got to the Spoils of War, I read this. Masks of Bugman 6X. The challenger receives 1 Bugman 6X lesser artifact, Tome of Champions 2020, page 89, for each objective they controlled at the end of the battle. Now the cynic in me giggled and thought, well done Games Workshop, there's a typo in White Dwarf. But sure enough, I went to the Tome of Champions 2019, checked page 89, and it's just a load of stuff about Ossiarch Bone Reapers. So that for me confirms that we are indeed getting Tome of Champions 2020. What's going to be in it, I don't know. Clearly the other books will have a lot of recycled content in there, and I think that they are just going to be collecting up old information. And while I don't expect the Tome of Champions 2020 to be all new information, I think there'll be some recycled stuff there from previous White Dwarfs and that kind of thing. I am very much looking forward to getting new gameplay elements added. So what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to that Tome of Champions 2020? Or do you think that Warhammer are continuing to bash us over the head with recycled content and more purchases? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're interested in Warcry, I've got a whole host of previous content, including building walls for catacombs, looking at existing content and reviewing warbands and that kind of stuff. And I've got so much more content going forward for Warcry that I'll have uploads every week for at least the next 2 months. So if you're enjoying that and you want to see more, consider subscribing, and I'll see you very soon. See ya!